What's going on, everybody? It's been a while since I filmed anything. I've been trying to drive and enjoy the car. On the downside of things, there is a chatter that we cannot get out of the engine towards the bottom end. I've tried and tried to mess with the timing and everything, thinking it was the valve train at first, but upon closer inspection, after all that, we've discovered it was the bottom end, which isn't surprising. This motor set up for 8 or 9 years. It was just, a spare that we had to throw in it. But it's to the point now where it kind of sounds like a tractor going down the road. It's pretty bad. And only having 3 gears is not desirable. I really would like an overdrive. So it is in the shop today to get torn down again. So let's get started. Okay, so shop is a mess. It's early in the morning here. It's like 5. It's raining as usual, as it has been for the last, feels like, year. But got to try and get this place cleaned up a little bit. And I have to unload the transmission because I dropped it off to a place in Monroe called Twin City Transmissions Friday afternoon, about 10 minutes before they closed. And Monday, it was ready to pick up. So we're going to get that unloaded, take a look at it, and I guess start gathering everything to get the motor and transmission paired together. See about getting this thing stripped down some, and see about trying to stab a fuel injection setup with overdrive in it. Okay, so transmission is unloaded. It's back. Like I said, I took it to a place called Twin City Transmissions down in Monroe, Louisiana. That's an hour and 20 minutes from us here. They turned it out in less than 2 business days, and it looks fine. I mean, it looks what I would expect it to look like. At first what I thought was some dirt through here. Turns out that it is actually just surface rust from them stripping the casing down, because this thing was disgusting whenever I took it to them. I did some trading with a guy down the road and got it for nothing. It was sitting outside for God knows how long. I don't even know what year model it came out of. I've got to run numbers and see about getting the TV cable and the tube and I guess a torque converter for now. I think the engine that it's pairing with has a cam, but I'm not sure the size of it. So worst come to worst, if it's something that needs more behind it, I'll take the torque converter out and put a stall in it. But for now, I'm just going to throw a torque to it and see what happens. So I'm going to hit it with a little bit of paint just to appease me, because it's cosmetically not that nice looking compared to the engine. And then try and clean up this rat's nest here as best I can. We're recovering post-tornado, so there's not a lot of storage out back like there used to be. A 20 or 25 by 40 shop got taken away, so all the crap you see behind me and beside me is literally just trying to make do until we can figure out storage. But I'm gonna try and rearrange and clean. Let me see about getting the fluid strain out of this thing, get the front clip off, snatch the drivetrain out, and start prepping it for new motor mounts. And hopefully by then we can pair it with the motor and transmission together, and maybe I'll have a daily driver again. All right, finally got around to taking the front clip off, taking the hood off, bumper. That's just so that I can navigate it a little easier. And when the time comes to pull the motor out, I don't have to fight with trying to get it up over the grill section. That is literally why I put this quick connect in. All the wiring on this side just disconnects that way. And if the fuel injection unit operates appropriately, this wire that's cut, and these that are cut will not be needed, because all that is a fan controller. And supposedly the fuel injection unit is supposed to control the fan. So as long as I can do a little research, make sure it works with a binary switch or trinary switch, I'm going to get rid of the controller altogether, use it on another vehicle. Probably put it towards the 66 or something. But anyway, that will allow me to literally make it even easier to pull the front cap off in the future, which I hope I don't, but let's be honest, with my luck, I'm going to have to. So, I guess it's time to jump into things, try and get this pulled apart. So, sometime later, got the motor and transmission out. It was much harder than it usually is. The cylinder wanted to go out on my crane and led to me making a huge mess trying to pry it over the motor mounts and busting the oil filter along with the intake and other things. But regardless, it's out. I have no intentions on ever using that motor again. As a matter of fact, if there's anything on it that you want, send me a message, and I'll get with you, because I'm happy to sell everything off of it. It's just going to go in the back as a core, and the transmission works fine. It's just going to get put up somewhere as well. But anyway, now it's a matter of trying to get all this cleaned up. Next couple of days when it's not raining, I'll roll it out, pressure wash it again, touch up paint, change the motor mounts, take the exhaust manifold off. That's going to go to, those were new whenever we done the build. Throttle linkage setup has to go. I'll have to use a low car setup because of the fuel injection. Probably going to get rid of the shifter linkage. I don't like it, but you know, this was a test and tune. This was trial and error for the Nomad build. So everything that I don't like about this car, I can correct now, and then I know what to do on the Nomad, which is coming up soon. I've actually got to go get the donor LS vehicle, I think, my next off weekend. But yeah, now on to bigger and better things, trying to get this thing cleaned up, spruced up a little bit, make sure I didn't damage any brake lines along the way from pulling the motor out, and go from there. So here we go. All right, so I've been under the weather for a couple of days. I haven't done much filming, haven't done much of anything, but trying to get back at it, get this knocked out so I can at least finish up an episode here and to get some progress done on the car. So where we're at right now is my father pinned the motor and transmission together yesterday by getting this off the stand, putting the flywheel on, flex plate, whatever people call it. New torque converter, putting oil in it, throwing it together. So now it's a matter of me having to get the new motor mounts installed. I've never done this before. We've always used those old factory front mounts that I'm not really a fan of, but supposedly this is fairly simple. We've got to grind some rivets out, punch them out, bolt these on. I'm gonna try and get this knocked out and hopefully get a motor sat in there at least. May not be hooked up, but it'll at least get sat in. All right, seeing as how the the other side is the exact same thing but mirrored, I'm not going to film it, but yeah, fairly simple to install those. The mount pads are already on the engine, so once this is done, it's a matter of putting the fuel pump on, taking the studs out for the brake pedal, or gas pedal, I mean, because that lever's not going to be used anymore. I've got a low car kit, and I guess trying to see if this thing will fit. So here goes nothing. All right, after getting the motor mount set in, it was literally just a matter of using engine hoist, which was a pain to do with two people and fighting with the camera view. So we went ahead and dropped the motor in, bolted right up with the new mounts. I was a little concerned because this mount seemed a little different angled, but it worked out fine. Everything's straight, got the right cant and whatnot. What I'm working on now is trying to fab up serpentine off of a early 90s model Chevrolet to work and not get in the way of this, among a couple of other things that I'll cover on the next video. But for now, I think this is where I'm going to stop it, because I don't know how much longer I'll be working with this for the weekend. So got it torn down, motor pulled out, new motor mounts, motor put back in. If you guys want, leave a comment. I enjoy reading them. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you think. So thanks for watching.